To me, it was as much a feeling as a sound. I mean, yes, it was roaring and it was loud, but we really could feel the earth shake.
10 years ago, Kim Gamble and her farm family sought refuge from an EF5 tornado that nearly wiped Greensburg, Kansas off the map.
To see all your stuff blown all over in your house is one thing, but you go to town and you can't even find the house, so.
Her husband Kai's wheat crop took a beating that year, and even though volunteers helped scour fields adding up to the size of the small town itself, random debris is still entangled within thickets nearby.
For people who lost their home, lost their job, I think it was harder because their day was filled with just that sense of overwhelming, what do I do next? We knew, well, we got to go start the irrigation engine. So we had a little bit of that I think helped us move down the road. Would you say that's probably right?
And when you looked out the window and you could see the trains go through town, and you could never see trains before, that was really weird.
For decades, Greensburg's claim to fame was the world's largest hand-dug well, completed in the 1800s. But the emphasis shifted in May 2007.
You've been watching this for quite a little while. What did you estimate its maximum width was?
I would say easily a mile, and that's kind of being conservative.
The nighttime twister tore a 29-mile path north through Comanche County up to Greensburg, the seat of Kiowa County, 100 miles west of Wichita.
We're right on the line. You're right.
205-mile-per-hour surface winds were reported in town. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, among the population of 1,600, 11 died, and nearly 1,500 homes and businesses were either destroyed or sustained major or minor damage, a 95% loss. To many residents, the town and surrounding landscape were unrecognizable.
I almost got lost in this small town because there's no landmarks. Nothing standing except the elevator.
Market to Market toured the devastation with Kai's father, Dean Gamble, less than 48 hours after the 2007 cyclone struck. While then-President George W. Bush declared Greensburg a disaster area eligible for federal aid, the retired teacher and farmer, now deceased, surveyed his decimated home.
It's a rude awakening. We thought we had our lives well intact and everything would be great. But now what? You just got to start all over again. It's hard to take.
We were making a lot of decisions early on in this emotional state of mind, that first 6 to 8 months after the tornado.
1 year into the aftermath, the town's well-respected postmaster, Bob Dixon, was prodded by community members to run for mayor and won. Since then, he's helped shepherd the town's vision toward an environmentally proactive rehab.
The concept of going green started the night after the tornado, when representatives from the governor's office, our local elected officials, FEMA was in town already, and the discussion started back, hey, you're going to have to rebuild the whole town. Let's make sure we do it in a right, prudent, and responsible manner.
Dixon says Greensburg City Council passed a resolution to erect all new municipal buildings to meet a LEED Platinum standard, a designation certified by the U.S. Green Building Council. Greensburg City Hall used 75,000 bricks claimed from the rubble in its new structure. Other buildings followed suit, employing things like natural light, effective use of shade, and solar panels. Wind turbines now dot the landscape as well, helping curb the town's carbon footprint along with its electric bill. Energy-efficient solutions have been encouraged across the community. The local hospital and John Deere dealership played along, as did the school system. But for some, the upfront costs were daunting. City officials grant that rebuilding green averaged around 12% above standard costs, but point to a study by the National Renewable Energy Lab, a division of the U.S. Department of Energy, which calculated up to a 40% subsequent increase in performance.
All those in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed?
The mayor admits a progressive push in an area traditionally skeptical of overarching change has led to bumps in the road forward.
We have to remember that here in the agriculture community and throughout the Midwest and the High Plains, we're very independent people. So rules and regulations sometimes are misinterpreted as an infringement on our freedoms and our rights. And sometimes they are. And sometimes we use that as an excuse.
Greensburg's population is still well below what it was before the tornado. For elderly citizens, rebuilding wasn't really their cup of tea. But there are hints of a younger generation putting down roots. So after $75 million in insurance payments, nonprofit funds, and government assistance have helped the town rise from the ashes, some say local investors are key to Greensburg's longevity.
After you get a community wiped out and lose friends and family, it changes your whole perspective on life.
The Gambles and other local producers have sunk over $1 million into the town's business incubator area, which helps local entrepreneurs keep a lid on costs as they get their operations off the ground. And along with other investments in the community, farmers turned benefactors have showcased the resilience of a town that could have become nothing more than a memory.
There's people that can and do, and there's people that can but don't. And we're very fortunate that the people that can, we have a whole lot of people that do in this community to make it better, to address quality of life issues.
For Market to Market, I'm Josh Bittner.